Matthew Perry's cause of death remains a puzzle, with answers eluding us for weeks, maybe even months. On that fateful day of October 28th, he met a shocking end in his own hot tub at the age of 54. The world was stunned and heartbroken as news broke on October 28th of the untimely passing of Matthew Perry at the age of 54. Fans and fellow celebrities alike were left in mourning for the actor, best known for his iconic role as Chandler on the beloved TV series Friends. But Matthew Perry's career was much more than his time in Central Perk. He graced our screens on hit TV shows like The West Wing and made us laugh in films like Fools Rush In. A representative for the actor and law enforcement confirmed the devastating news to NBC News. Perry was discovered lifeless at his residence in picturesque Pacific Palisades, leaving the world in shock. The circumstances surrounding his passing have been shrouded in mystery, as no cause of death has been officially determined at this time. As the world grappled with the loss of this true talent, tributes and memories began pouring in across social media. The impact of Matthew Perry's work was not only felt on screen, but also in the hearts of those who had the privilege of working alongside him. On the afternoon of October 30th, the 5 surviving main co-stars from Friends shared their collective devastation. Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer may not have immediately spoken out, but they came together to issue a heartfelt joint statement to People magazine. In the wake of Matthew Perry's passing, their words carried the weight of their deep friendship and shared history. "We are all so utterly devastated by the loss of Matthew," they wrote. "We were more than just castmates. We are a family." There is so much to say, but right now we're going to take a moment to grieve and process this unfathomable loss. Their statement underscored the profound bond forged during their time together on the hit show. They conveyed their intention to share more in due time, quote, "as and when we are able," and concluded by extending their thoughts and love to Maddie's friends and family, and everyone who loved him around the world. Tributes from celebrities and fans alike have been pouring in, celebrating Matthew Perry's legacy as a comedic genius. The Los Angeles Fire Department confirmed that first responders were dispatched to his address in response to a water emergency. Shockingly, he was discovered unresponsive around 4 p.m., as reported by unnamed law enforcement sources who spoke to the LA Times. Though no drugs were found at the scene, it was reported that prescription medications were recovered at his home, leading to the inclusion of toxicology testing as part of the ongoing investigation. The cause of death, to be determined by the LA County Coroner's Office, remains a question mark, and it may take some time for answers to emerge. However, it is essential to note that foul play is not suspected, as confirmed by Cap Scott Williams, who leads the city's police robbery homicide division, responsible for investigating Perry's tragic passing. Perry's family also released a heartfelt statement to People. "We are heartbroken by the tragic loss of our beloved son and brother. Matthew brought so much joy to the world, both as an actor and a friend. You all meant so much to him, and we appreciate the tremendous outpouring of love." In his final Instagram post on October 23, Perry posted a photo of himself sitting in a pool or hot tub at night, accompanied by the words, "Oh, so warm water swirling around, makes you feel good. I'm Matt Mann." Former school friend and Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau remembered their shared past. Perry's death was shocking and saddening. "I'll never forget these schoolyard games we used to play, and I know people around the world are never going to forget the joy he brought them. Thanks for all the laughs, Matthew. You were loved, and you will be missed." Singer Adele, who recently announced her own journey to sobriety, paid a heartfelt tribute during her Las Vegas show. "He's probably the best comedic actor of all time. He was so open with his struggles with addiction and sobriety, which I think is incredibly, incredibly brave." Gwyneth Paltrow, who shared a connection with Perry dating back to 1993, reminisced about their time together. "I met Matthew Perry in 1993 at the Williamstown Theater Festival in Massachusetts. We were both there for most of the summer doing plays. He was so funny and so sweet and so much fun to be with. We drove out to swim in creeks, had beers in the local college bar, kissed in a field of long grass. It was a magical summer. He had shot the pilot of Friends, but it had not aired yet. He was nervous, hoping his big break was just around the corner. It was. We stayed friends for a while until we drifted apart, but I was always happy to see him when I did. I am super sad today, as so many of us are. I hope Matthew is at peace at long last. I really do. The co-creators of Friends, Marta Kaufman and David Crane, along with the show's executive producer, Kevin Bright, expressed their shock and sorrow in a joint statement. He was always the funniest person in the room. More than that, he was the sweetest, with a giving and selfless heart. This truly is the one where our hearts are broken. Matthew Perry had a profound desire to be remembered for the work he had done to help fellow addicts. This included his 2016 play, The End of Longing, and his 2022 best-selling memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Actor Hank Azaria, a close friend, revealed how Perry had helped him on his own journey to sobriety. I really loved him. A lot of us who were close to him felt like we lost him to drugs and alcohol a long time ago because, as he documented in his autobiography, there was so much suffering. I had to pick up and put down the biography like 11 times. It was so painful for me to read. Viola Davis expressed how Perry's book had touched her deeply. The book had shifted so many close to my heart. The people no one sees and most throw away. It was a gift. Warner Brothers Television Group, which produced all 10 seasons of Friends, paid a heartfelt tribute to, quote, our dear friend and an incredibly gifted actor. They acknowledged the global impact of Perry's comedic genius and reassured that his legacy would remain in the hearts of many. Their message ended with love and condolences extended to his family, loved ones, and devoted fans. Matthew Perry's journey into acting started in LA at the age of 15, following his time as a ranked youth tennis player in Canada. After small roles in series like Growing Pains, Beverly Hills 90210, and Dream On, he secured the role of Chandler Bing, which would come to define his career. Friends, a comedy series centered around 6 professionals living in New York City, quickly became a cultural phenomenon. It won multiple Emmys and achieved record-breaking ratings. This show's 2004 finale was watched by more than 52 million viewers in the US, making it the most-watched TV episode of the 2000s. But Matthew Perry's association with Chandler was a double-edged sword for the actor, as he revealed in a 2014 interview. People come up to me every day and say, "Hey, Chandler." I don't respond to it. If somebody says, "Hi, Matthew, I love your work," that's one thing. But if somebody goes, "Yo, Chandler," I don't like that. I'm tired of it. I'm not Chandler. Maggie Wheeler, who played Chandler's memorable girlfriend, Janice, on Friends, celebrated the enduring joy Perry brought to so many lives during his, quote, too short lifetime. She shared her gratitude for the creative moments they shared on Instagram. Morgan Fairchild, who portrayed Chandler's mother, expressed her heartbreak at the untimely loss of her, quote, son, and described Perry as a brilliant young actor, leaving a profound impact. Bradley Whitford, who co-starred with Perry in the short-lived NBC drama Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, shared a clip of an interview they did to promote the series. In a heartfelt tribute, he recalled how Perry made him laugh and touched upon the challenges Perry faced with addiction. Whitford eloquently wrote, "Without substances, Matt had a huge, open heart and a pyrotechnical, joyous brain. I think the most beautiful parts of Matt made him the most vulnerable to the monster that he would have to fight for the rest of his life. His battle was heroic. They don't have award shows for that. They should." Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip ran for one season from 2006 till 2007 before it was canceled. Despite its short run, it received an Emmy Award and 4 nominations. Whitford reflected on the complexity of his friend. Matt was full of contradictions. He was hilariously self-deprecating and insecure and wildly self-confident. He was a fountain of light with a huge capacity for darkness. He was profoundly blessed and terribly cursed. Whitford went on to emphasize the kindness that defined Perry's character, saying, "I want his parents to know that Matt was kind, not just to his co-star, to everyone. To honor Matt, I hope we can continue the work that mattered most to him, to open our hearts to so many who share his vulnerabilities, to encourage them to get the help they need, and to give them the love and the support they deserve. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to work with Matt, to spend some precious time with him, and most of all, to be his friend." Kate Hudson, who knew Perry personally, shared her memories and feelings about him on her Instagram stories on October 30th. She reminisced about their shared moments, highlighting how special he was. To know him was to adore him. We played tennis and played more tennis, talked endlessly about trials and tribulations of love, and then would talk some more as we would laugh our asses off and then laughed some more. I share the same sadness with all our film and TV community who shared time with Matthew. As you can see, to know him was to adore him. John Stamos, who had a guest appearance on a 2003 episode of Friends, also shared his fond memories. He described an interaction they had on set and the surprise he faced. "Matthew and I had been friendly long before Friends, so when I guest starred as Zach, the prospective sperm donor for Chandler and Monica, I hung with him a lot. Standing backstage, ready to make my entrance, Matt whispers, 'The audience is gonna go crazy when they see you. Get ready for some loud screams.' I walked through the door. Silence. I was so embarrassed. We finished the scene, and as I start to slither back to my dressing room and quit showbiz, Matt walks over to the studio audience. 'Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for John Stamos.' You guys probably didn't recognize him at first because he's so much better looking in person. I never forgot that, and the world will never forget you," Stamos concluded. Paget Brewster, who had a guest starring arc on Friends during season 4, paid her respects to Perry and encouraged people to read his memoir about addiction. She shared her experiences working with him on the show and the impact he had on her. "He was lovely to me on Friends, and every time I saw him in the decades after. Please read his book. It was his legacy to help. He won't rest in peace, though. He's already too busy making everyone laugh up there." Salma Hayek, who co-starred with Perry in the 1997 romantic comedy Fools Rush In, expressed her deep sadness at his passing and shared her fond memories of their time working together. She posted several photos of herself with Perry on Instagram and wrote a touching tribute. 2 days ago, I woke up to the shocking news that Matthew Perry is no longer with us. It's taken me a couple of days to process this profound sadness." Hayek went on to describe the special bond she shared with Perry, reminiscing about their work on Fools Rush In and the nostalgia they both felt. She spoke about Perry's sense of humor, perseverance, and kind heart. "My friend, you are gone much too soon, but I will continue to cherish your silliness, your perseverance, and your lovely heart. Farewell, sweet Matthew. We will never forget you." Shannon Doherty, who shared a deep and enduring friendship with Matthew Perry, posted a heartfelt tribute to the actor on Instagram. Along with a photo of herself with Perry and another friend, Roger Castillo, in the LA Dodgers dugout, Doherty reminisced about their close bond and the fun they had had together over the years. "We just always had fun and supported each other. You would always find us all together in a booth, speaking in our own made-up language. And yes, Matt always had that sense of humor." She also shared an amusing anecdote about going on a date with Perry on Valentine's Day, where they couldn't secure a restaurant reservation in Malibu, so her dad had to step in and help them. "Our friendship spanned a long time, a lifetime really. I know many are hurting, especially our little gang. He will be missed by many and definitely by us. Yes, I could be more poetic or say things better, but right now, shock and sadness prevail." Thomas Lennon, who worked alongside Perry in 17 Again and The Odd Couple, paid his respects with a simple yet poignant tribute on Instagram. He shared a photo of the two actors sitting together on a couch, Lennon's arm draped around Perry's shoulder with the caption, "Good night, friend." Do you know who Matthew Perry was? Matthew Perry, born in 1969 in Massachusetts to an American father and a Canadian mother, would go on to become a celebrated actor, best known, of course, for his iconic role as Chandler Bing. Perry's life was marked by a mix of personal challenges and professional successes that endeared him to audiences around the world. Growing up in Canada, Perry's mother worked as a press aide to Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. His early years were influenced by the absence of his father, who had left the family in pursuit of his own acting dreams. Perry humorously recounted that he once bullied a young Justin Trudeau, stating, "I decided to end my argument with him when he was put in charge of an entire army." As a teenager, Perry decided to move to Hollywood with the hope of reconnecting with his father. It was there that he first discovered his passion for acting. His big break came when he was spotted at a diner by director William Reichert, who left a note inviting him to appear in the film A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon alongside River Phoenix. Perry was just 24 when he started portraying Chandler on Friends. He felt an immediate connection to the character, remarking that it seemed as though the role had been tailored specifically for him. The sarcastic and witty nature of Chandler resonated with Perry, making him an integral part of the show's success. His casting as Chandler was no small feat, as the role of the sardonic Joker was initially considered challenging to fill. Perry's portrayal proved to be a perfect fit, and he received 5 Emmy Award nominations during his career, 1 for Friends and 2 for his role as lawyer Joe Quincy on The West Wing. While starring on Friends, Perry also ventured into the world of film, appearing in movies like Fools Rush In alongside Salma Hayek, Three to Tango with Neve Campbell, and The Whole Nine Yards alongside Bruce Willis. He even took on guest roles on TV shows like Ally McBeal and Scrubs. Perry's struggles with addiction began in 1997 when he became addicted to pain meds after a jet skiing accident. Perry later revealed that he had no recollection of 3 years of his time on Friends and spent over $9 million in his battle for sobriety. He opened up about this dark period in his life, saying, "I was taking 55 Vicodin a day. I weighed 128 pounds. I was on Friends getting watched by 30 million people. And that's why I can't watch the shows, because I was so brutally thin." Despite the overwhelming success of Friends, Perry admitted that he experienced severe anxiety every night while filming the show, and felt a sense of emptiness when it ultimately came to an end in 2004. After Friends, Perry continued his acting career with a role in Aaron Sorkin's Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, though the show was canceled after just 1 season. He appeared in the comedy 17 again alongside Zac Efron and made guest appearances on The Good Wife and The Good Fight. Perry also took the lead role in 1-season sitcoms like Go On and a remake of The Odd Couple, which ran for 3 seasons. In 2016, he wrote and starred in the play The End of Longing, which debuted in the West End before transferring to Broadway. He shared that the play had a personal message for those who, like him, had faced challenges, stating, "I had something important to say to people like me, and to people who love people like me." Cause of death not yet determined. Perry's cause of death remains under investigation and could reportedly take weeks to months to confirm. The Friends star. Results of his initial post-mortem report are inconclusive, pending a toxicology report. Sources told CMZ, which was the first to report the news, that first responders rushed to the house after receiving a call about a cardiac arrest. Earlier that morning, Perry reportedly had come back to his home after playing a 2-hour pickleball game when he asked his assistant to run him an errand. 2 hours later, the assistant found him unresponsive in his jacuzzi and called 911. Foul play is not believed to have been a factor in his death. No drugs were found at the scene. In an interview with Today Show host Coda Kobe, in an interview with Today, Friends co-creator, in an interview on the Today Show, Friends co-creator Marta Kaufman said Perry's death seems so unfair because the actor was in a really good place when they last spoke. "It was great," she said. He was happy and chipper. He didn't seem weighed down by anything. He was in a really good place, which is why this seems so unfair. When she heard the news, Kaufman was in utter shock. My first impulse was to text him, honestly, she said, adding, it's hard to grasp. 1 minute he's here and happy. 1 minute he's here and he's happy, and then poof. And doing good in the world, really doing good in the world. Today's host pointed out that though Perry's death was shocking, it may not have been surprising to some given his history with drug and alcohol abuse. I would say that's probably true given the journey he'd been on, and we were all aware of it. There was a part that was kind of bracing for something like this, Crane said. It's still hard to believe because he was such an alive person that it's hard to believe he's not here. However, Kaufman said that Perry was sober at the time of his death. He seemed better than I had seen in a while. I was so thrilled to see that, she said. He was emotionally in a good place. He looked good. He had quit smoking. He was sober. In one of his last interviews, Perry discussed how he wanted to be remembered not just for friends, but for helping others struggling with drug and alcohol abuse. When I die, I don't want friends to be the first thing that's mentioned, Perry said. I want that to be the first thing that's mentioned. The best thing about me, bar none, is that if somebody comes up to me and says, I can't stop drinking, can you help me? I can say yes and follow up and do it. When I die, I don't want friends to be the first thing that's mentioned. I want that to be the first thing that's mentioned. And I'm going to live the rest of my life proving that. Crane said that definitely rings true. As important as the show was and continues to be, I think that absolutely became his purpose, his reason for being. Matthew's legacy. Playing Chandler, Perry's quick wit, sarcasm, and charm were on full display, ultimately helping him hide an addiction to alcohol and prescription painkillers triggered after a doctor prescribed him Vicodin following a jet ski accident. Perry recalled how the Friends cast rallied around him during his darkest moments. In his 2022 memoir, he likened their support to how penguins care for their injured members in nature, writing, in nature, when a penguin is injured, the other penguins group around it and prop it up until it's better. That is what my co-stars on Friends did for me. Perry's struggle continued for decades, but he ultimately overcame his demons and dedicated his life to helping others who might be struggling with addiction. In his book, he emphasized the importance of community in battling addiction, writing, addiction, the big terrible thing, is far too powerful for anyone to defeat alone. But together, one day at a time, we can beat it down. Perry estimated he had relapsed 60 or 70 times since first getting sober in 2001. His journey was far from smooth, and in 2019, he was put in a 2-week coma when his colon exploded due to opiate abuse. He underwent 14 surgeries to repair the damage. Perry wrote in his memoir, "At this point in my life, the words of gratitude pour out of me because I should be dead, and yet somehow I am not." His book was a hit with readers and critics alike. Perry's candor about his extreme compound addiction and the intersection with mega celebrities. Perry's candor about his extreme compound addiction and the intersection with mega celebrity resonated with many. Reflecting on his own desire for celebrity, Perry said, "You have to get famous to know that it's not the answer, and nobody who is not famous will ever truly believe that." Perry recognized the platform he had due to his fame and felt a responsibility to use it for good. Said he, "For some reason, it's obviously because I was on Friends. More people will listen to me. So I've got to take advantage of that. I've got to help as many people as I can." In addition to speaking out about his struggles and recovery, Perry established a sober house to aid others in their struggle with addiction. He found fulfillment in helping individuals on a personal level, saying, "What's interesting about it is I've stood on a stage helping 100,000 people at the same time, but I get the same juice. I get the same thing from helping one person." Perry's empathy and understanding of the depths of addiction made him a powerful advocate for recovery. On a podcast in 2022, he opened up about how he wanted to be remembered. "The best thing about me, bar none, is that if somebody comes up to me and says, 'I can't stop drinking, can you help me?' I can say yes and follow up and do it. When I die, I don't want friends to be the first thing that's mentioned, Perry continued. I want helping people to be the first thing that's mentioned, and I'm going to live the rest of my life proving that. As we wrap up this video, we'd like to extend our heartfelt condolences to Matthew Perry's family, friends, and fans. If you found the video valuable, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on interesting content and updates like this one. Thank you for watching.